Welcome back to Inspection Pro Joe, episode 14. Today, Joey and I are going to talk about hiring and some ways that you can optimize that process. So, Joey, you want to jump right into it?
Yeah, Jake, definitely. And, not just hiring, but hiring with the path forward. So your people that you're hiring within your company have a vision and can see themselves moving through and what it takes to get to the next level and the level after that within your company, whether that's a team lead, a general manager, a director of operations. It is extremely important to have that path forward. I was in a group chat the other day with some inspectors across the country, and one of the guys was talking about how he's struggling to find somebody to replace him as a leader within his organization.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, this one guy, it didn't really work out. Like he doesn't want to work weekends. He doesn't want to do this. He does. And he's making excuses of why that guy is not really the person, but he wants it for him. You can't want it for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They have to want it for themselves. But what you can do as a leader of your organization, a leader of your company, is paint the vision so they can see what it looks like. And then those leaders should show themselves. You shouldn't want it for somebody because you like them or you get along with them. They got to reveal themselves based on the program that you've put in place for them to grow in within your company. And that is extremely important. And now, disclaimer, I didn't do that when we started hiring our first inspectors. I was just more excited just to get an inspector and going. But as we grew, we knew we needed to paint the vision for inspectors coming on, because they actually asked us the questions. What does it take to move forward?
Yeah.
And when we started getting those questions from our hires, it made us really say, hey, you know what? We need to have a path for these guys. We need to have a path, inspector level 1, inspector level 2, team lead, and have pay bands.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it take to get to inspector level 2? What does it take to become a team lead? And just some of those things is guys that are doing multiple inspections, that if an inspection gets dropped, they're willing to go help another inspector. They're always the first to answer questions when another inspector sends something to the group chat about what age is the HVAC. Hey, I've never seen this thing before. And they're the first ones to jump on it. That's what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so those people should reveal themselves. But for the inspector that may have 1 or 2 guys, this is an extremely important part of the hiring process, is making sure you have a path for everybody you hire on what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be discussed right when they hire, right when you're doing your employee introduction to your company after they get hired. They need to be involved and see that so they know. And the clearer you can be, the more transparent you are with them, the better. Now, granted, you're going to learn as you go. You're going to make mistakes.
Which I'm sure
but
you
if
did.
you can, you do. And but it's a refining process. You're never going to get something right down once and not have to go back and refine. And then they're going to ask questions that are going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of growing a business, is it's not just you that you're relying on.
So,
you have other people.
With your hires, did you experience it as they knew where they wanted to go and you helped show them that? Or did you tell them, hey, this is where you can go? Or was it kind of a combination of the both?
Well, when you're hiring somebody, you can't tell them that if they do this and this, they're going to have that position, right? Mm-hmm. So, you don't want to make false promises. You want to make sure that you lay out a path. Hey, if you do these things, this could be in your future.
Mm-hmm.
This is the path to that. It could happen in 6 months. It could happen in 7 years.
Yeah.
That is up to you. And if you give people a path for growth,
mm-hmm.
then your growth as a company becomes limitless.
So giving them that path, are you kind of like communicating it and laying it out, or are you also utilizing like training tools? Are there extra ways that you can invest in these new hires with training tools to get them there faster?
Well, you got to have a training program, right? You have to have, what we do is we have an introduction to our company. Whenever we make new hires, there's an introduction day, or a orientation.
Like an onboarding process.
An onboarding orientation where they get to know our company, they get to know our mission. And then we start laying out, hey, This is where you are right now. This is the path, the other paths that are ahead of you. When we started hiring, we had a mission statement, and the guys that are in my leadership positions now were the ones that bought into, or the guys and girl, they were the ones that bought into the vision. They were the ones that did all the extracurricular, that were willing to help, that really showed, they showed themselves to me.
Mhm.
I didn't have to say, oh, I really want Lenny to be our general manager. He showed it to me. But what I did was I painted the vision and said, hey, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You can do this one day.
And
he bought in.
yeah.
He was committed. So many people that you hire, the majority of people you hire, they're going to be great inspectors, but they're going to say, oh, how do I get to the next level? And they're going to talk, but then they don't walk.
Mhm.
And so you have to make sure they're aligning with their mouth and their mouth. Because I love when guys come in and they're excited and they say, what do I have to do to get to the next level? Show me.
Because that's going to be a beautiful, those guys are going to have a beautiful relationship. You're both going to grow.
Yeah. And sometimes you get people that are antsy. They want it quickly.
Yeah.
They say, well, 90 days. Can we have a review in 90 days for a pay increase? And I'm like, nope, because you've never done home inspections before. Typically, when we hire the guys typically that haven't done it. You have to show me over a long period of time. And it's 3 months isn't a long period. We live in that instant gratification now, and we do yearly reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And just because we do a review doesn't mean there's going to be a guaranteed pay increase or any of that.
Yeah.
They just sit down and evaluate you and do better. And so you can show me over time that you actually back up. Anybody can do something for a couple weeks, right? They got to show me over time and prove their work to me.
Yeah.
I'm building a relationship with somebody. Same if I was dating somebody. I'm not going to marry somebody after 2 weeks. I'm not going to invest wholeheartedly in somebody after 2 or 3 weeks, 3 months. Come on, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take time, right? Same thing in business, and those relationships, those are just as important. It's a business relationship, but it's a relationship that's just as important. So valuable stuff.
Yeah.
Hey guys, on that note, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, Pair Payments, and the great stuff that they're doing.
And now a quick word from our sponsor, Pair Payments. Are you a home inspector looking to pair with the best payment processor to fit your needs? Well, look no further than Pair Payments. Call us today at 833-968-7767 or visit our website, pairpayments.com. And don't forget to ask about no-fee credit card processing. Thank you.
All right, and we're back. So Joey, I got a question for you about the track here. So when you see someone, you hire someone new, are you thinking about multiple tracks here? Are you thinking right away, all right, is this someone who we're looking at management, or we're looking at human resources or something like that? When you're hiring someone, is there different paths you see and you help guide them to? Or is this kind of like, here's what you can do and you do what you like? Or is it kind of a combination of the both here?
No, well, typically when I'm hiring somebody, like if I'm hiring an inspector, they're hired to be an inspector.
Mm-hmm.
But I show them ways that they can grow if they choose to within our company.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's their choice. I have the path though for growth within our company because I want to grow.
Yeah.
But if I'm hiring a manager, well then he needs to be able to do those management tasks that I've already laid out to the inspector one,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just a new set. So he may have more of a management expertise. So it's really, what am I looking for? See, I can't look at Inspector One and say, hey man, in 2 years, I want you to be a manager. I can't say that. He's got to want it.
Yeah.
I can say, hey, I like this guy. I hope he becomes a manager, but I can't want that for him. And if I don't have somebody within my organization that can lead, be a manager, then maybe I have to go look outside my organization and hire somebody to do it.
Yeah.
If nobody's revealing themselves, but for me, I always like to take responsibility for me first. So if nobody's showing themselves, I take it upon myself to say, hey, maybe I didn't lay it out correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to reevaluate when we hire these guys, the process, so it's very clear from the beginning, so they know how to move forward and grow.
Yeah.
And we're talking about inspectors. That's transaction coordinators, schedulers, client care coordinators. Hey, how do I grow within that role? There should be a path at every entry level position within your company for growth,
Yeah.
right? Because I can't do it all once when we hit 3 million, we hit 4 million, we hit 5 million. Shit, things are going to change and grow. I'm not going to have the capabilities to just lead. I need
Yeah.
leaders underneath me that we can have a leadership team, and we do. We have 3, but even more than that.
And it
So the
sounds
more
like it
growth, the more people have to rise up.
and it sounds like it keeps everyone motivated. Exactly. They're invested now, and they want
Oh yeah.
to grow your business and themselves. I love that.
Yeah, people will take, you know, not that it's about money, but if somebody sees a path for growth, they're less likely to jump ship
Yeah.
for more money elsewhere,
Mhm.
right? Because there is an investment, and just because you make more money somewhere else, well, that there may not be a path for growth over there. You may be capped out once you leave,
Yeah.
right? And so, and now granted, people are going to do what they want, but at least if I'm putting our company in the strongest position to retain people, this helps with retainment. There needs to be a path for growth.
So during this process, I'm sure you've evolved a lot and you've learned as you've, hired and you've kind of iterated on this. So do you have any nightmare stories that our audience can learn from that you can reflect back on and say, all right, maybe I would have done something different here, and here's something you can learn from?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. One time a inspector first interview showed up, and this was when I was doing. Actually, no, there was a phone interview, but I was the one that was doing the first interview in person, and he showed up without a belt on. Ended up hiring him, and ended up being a nightmare. Thank God he ended up left.
So that little tell clued you in right away.
Yeah, but I ignored it. So I ignored that he was missing the belt, and I said, okay. And now I don't have time for that, because I look at it as if I'm showing up for a job that I really want. One, I'm going to be 15 minutes early. I'm at least be on time, right? And 2, I'm going to be dressed really well, and I'm going to be on my A game.
Mhm.
So if somebody's showing up late, I won't even. If I sit down for an interview and we're meeting at a place or our office now, and they're late, bye bye. I don't have time, because being on time is so vital in our job that I won't even give them time of day. I won't even give them 5 minutes.
If you can't make it to the interview. Yeah.
No, and I've done that a couple times where people have begged for me back. Oh, well, we got to reschedule. I'm not going to just rush back. So we make them reschedule. I've had one instance, guy was late, but it was a circumstance, totally understandable.
Mhm.
Was very upset, and he's ended up being one of our best inspectors. But majority of the time, when I've moved forward, those people are no longer with us.
Yeah.
So you got to look at these signs, right? And what's important, and really try to feel the people you're interviewing in that regard. But whenever I'm hiring somebody or I'm sitting down an interview, I'm not there to convince somebody to come work for me. I'm not hungry for people at an interview. They have to sit there and convince me. And if they're talking to me and they're like, well, why should I come work for you? I stop it right then and there. So whoa, 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 whoa. If you don't have to come work for me.
So you want people who know your business and know that they want to work for you because you're doing.
Oh, they better want the job.
Yeah.
Wait. You're here to convince me of why you need to come work for my company.
Yeah.
Because my company's growing and it's a great opportunity.
Yeah. And now I'm wondering, is one thing you think about when you're hiring this, your philosophy and their philosophy, and see how they align?
Well, I don't know if they have philosophies, right?
Okay.
I don't have to be. I don't want to say I don't have to but I don't have to. They don't have to be my type of person for me to necessarily hire them.
So it doesn't
right?
someone doesn't have to be your best friend to know that they'll be good in your business.
Oh my God, yeah, they don't have to be my best friend. I'm not looking for a best friend.
Yeah.
I'm looking for inspectors that are willing to work, that willing to learn, willing to grow within our company, and willing to be the best that they can be. Right. I don't have to be buddies with them. I'm not buddy with everybody that we work with. I mean, that's just not. I don't want 10 Joeys. I don't want 5 Joeys. Because I can relate to only so many people, and the more diversity that I have, the more people we can relate to. Everybody buys houses, not just one type of person, right? So the more diversity that we have, the stronger we are.
Yeah.
And everything, right? That's why America is the melting pot. We're known for the diversity.
Yeah.
That's why we're strong, right? That's strength. So we need diversity. I want different people. I want different types of people. And then the true success is being able to work together.
Yeah.
But that comes from leadership, and like we talked about, creating the vision, creating the path, creating the culture within your company. So it all ties in. So it's really fascinating. But
It is. It's awesome. And I love that we're taking a second to talk about this, because I feel like it's something, hiring is like one of those things that it's a reality. You're going to have to do it. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it. So it's great. I love that we're talking about it.
no, I'm glad we're talking about it too. And I'm glad that idea spawned, and I've heard that a lot, where people want something for somebody else so bad, but that's not how it works. Like, they have to want it.
Yeah.
If they don't want it, then either they're a great inspector, or if they're not, a team player, and your culture is team based, they need to leave. Get rid of them, right? Every single person is replaceable.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
So
No one is better than your organization. Not one person is better than your organization. Even the guy at the top. Nobody's better.
And so I love, we talked about the nightmare scenario here. We had one bad hiring situation that you learned from, but have there been any,
Got a
fantastic,
few, but yeah.
have there been any fantastic situations that, we were talking about diversity, that someone comes in who thinks totally different than you, that you're able to learn a lot from, or they've been able to help you innovate and really grow? Have there been those great situations that you've also learned from?
Oh, of course. I mean, working with my director of operations, she's a female, and and she believes in different things outside of the office with me, but she also sees things very, I don't want to say, I guess somewhat different, but we had a situation, and I think it was like a potential sexual harassment issue, and her insight to it was extremely valuable in how we handled it. Just her listening to her perspective on the whole situation, was just, and she wasn't sexually harassed, but there was a situation, and I don't think, when we uncovered and discovered, I think no harm was meant, from both people, but we had to have a sit down. We had to discuss it, and having her there to help deal with that situation was truly amazing. Because if it was just me that I was relying on dealing with it, I probably wouldn't have done. I don't know if I would have done the best job, but I probably wouldn't have handled it properly.
Yeah.
And that's that. You have, especially if you're in a leadership position, you have to be willing to listen to people, especially within your organization, listen to their feedback, and really try to have some empathy of where are they coming from certain scenarios. You don't have to have sympathy and be like, oh yeah, and agree, but have empathy to understand where they're coming from. And when you can understand different perspectives and where other people are coming from, I think it's refreshing. Like, and then it creates a culture where people feel like their opinions matter.
And then they feel free to share them.
They feel free to share them. I hate when somebody tells me, oh, I thought that was bad. I wish, but I didn't want to say anything because I was afraid you were going to get mad.
Yeah.
What? No, tell me. I'm never going to get mad. You could say, Joey, I don't like the way you handled this situation. I think you were rude, arrogant, and a piece of crap. Tell me. I want to know. I need to improve. I need feedback. You know, I want to. And if I'm not going to get mad at somebody because they disagree with me, or they think that they would have handled it better. But if we can have a conversation so they understand my point of view, I understand their point of view, we are both better off for that. And there's tremendous value in that.
How do you foster that communication? Like, how do you allow that communication to happen and make sure that you project to your team that you are open and you're willing to talk about these kind of things?
Well, I think the first thing is when I have an idea where I'm going to implement, or we're going to make a big change within our company, or just like maybe it's a simple change, for inspectors or whatever, we announce it like, hey, we're thinking about doing something, but we want to hear what your thoughts on that. And we give our people the ability to voice their opinions and concerns.
Yeah.
First, before we even implement. We don't just implement and say, hey, what do you think? And then we listen, we hear, we may change, we may keep it the same based on what we hear, but it creates buy-in. It creates, that culture where people matter. And it doesn't matter if you're a radon tech for me, an inspector, a transaction coordinator, our marketing team. It doesn't matter. Your opinion matters.
Yeah.
One of the best things, when I went to college, is the group activities that we had to do, the group projects, because you had to work with other people who were different than you, who had different ideas, who were more creative, more analytical.
Yeah.
And you had to work together, because that's what the real world's really about. It's not just Joey, principal owner of Donofrio Associates, making every decision. No, I don't want that. Because I may be wrong.
Yeah.
And I want buy-in and feedback, and then we can make a better decision together. One brain is only one brain, but when me and you get to working, we're going to be better than just Joey.
Yeah.
And so when I have 10, 15, 24 people, the more the better.
Yeah.
Right. Now, some opinions that you just have to say, okay, that wasn't really a good one, but
as long as everyone's rowing in the same direction, the team is going to be successful.
Yep.
I love that. It's a great takeaway today.
No, I'm glad we talked about it. I think this is very important for, our listeners. I even got an email that just emailed to our scheduling of 2 guys in Florida that want to grow. They listened to a podcast when I was a guest on, and they wanted to ask about hiring. So I just thought that this was a great topic because it had come up a couple times. And so I hope this, for our listeners, I hope this was valuable. Always feel free to reach out to us. Even if you can't get me directly, you can always reach out to Pair Payments, to my company, Donofrio and Associates. They always forward on messages that are meant for me. And I'd be more than happy to help anybody in this business. And so would Jake. We do this for you guys. We do this to really add value, because we didn't see a real business podcast in this space. And we're just really extremely grateful that we have a great audience. We love your feedback. Hope I didn't cuss too much today. I got carried away the other episode, because I do want to keep it clean. I do want to keep it appropriate. So you can listen to this for your kids, because I think, my kids, your kids will get a lot of value just by listening to the success principles that we talk about here. So thanks for the feedback. Keep it coming. We really appreciate it.
Yes, please.
Jake, any last words?
Yeah, and we've had a couple people reach out. So in the next coming episodes, we have some great guests coming on, and we've had a lot of people reach out on different platforms like YouTube and LinkedIn. And I just wanted to say again, my email, my personal email for work is j.aronson@pairpayments.com. That's j.aronson@pairpayments.com. And if you email me, we can talk and get you scheduled to have some more guests on. We love just getting everyone's opinion on here.
And our next episode, we have a special guest coming on. He's going to talk about how you can grow your business by teaching continuing education credits, giving continuing education to realtors. And we just can't wait for you to meet them. I use their services, great product, and it's helped us grow tremendously, because when you add value to realtors, it's amazing what it will do for your business. And you're not even selling them, but because you added value, it makes them want to use you for inspections.
Yeah.
Huge. Can't wait for you to hear that episode.
All
Stay
right.
tuned for that.
Thank you
All
guys
right,
very
Jake.
much. Thank you,
Take
Joey.
care, bro.
And
Thanks, Jake.
we'll see you next week.